Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be learning a new poem written by Robert Frost. The poem is Mending Wall. Now the speaker of Mending Wall narrates the poem from his point of view in first person dramatic narration. The speaker in the poem possesses a carefree attitude towards reconstructing a boundary wall. He does not see any valid reason for dividing properties. He has a radical and enlightened mind as opposed to his neighbor's narrow mindedness. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. In these lines, the speaker predicts that there is something that causes the wall to break down again and again. The speaker thinks that maybe the water under the ground gets frozen, which results in ice that expands to cause cracks in the wall. It also makes the stones at the top of the wall fall down. With time, the crack in the wall grows so wide that it becomes possible for two people to pass through it by walking shoulder to shoulder. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps, I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring, mending time, we find them there. In these lines, the speaker does not agree with the idea that the wall could have been damaged by the hunters. He says that he himself has repaired the wall after the hunters have broken it. Now the hunters have displaced the stones to allow rabbits to come out of their holes. This way, they would feed their hungry barking dogs. However, according to the speaker, the gaps in the wall are made by something else that is not seen or heard by anyone. The speaker always finds the damage in the wall every spring. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go. The wall is between two farms that are separated by a hill. The speaker informs his neighbor about the hole who is living on the other side of the hill. They both meet one another on a fixed day and take a walk along the wall. The damaged wall separates them as they walk on each side of the wall. The speaker and his neighbor inspect the damage on their own side. The farmer who lives on the other side of the hill is informed about the hole. To each the boulders that have fallen to each, and some are loaves and some so nearly balls. We have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. Speaker says that he and his neighbor take the responsibility to put the rocks back on their position. However, each one of them fixes their own side. It is an exhausting task for both. The rocks are not regular in shape. So some of them are in the shape of bread while others are round. Nothing can hold them in their places except a magic spell. Therefore, the speaker tells the stones to stay at the positions unless they are gone. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, one on a side. It comes a little more there where it is. We do not need the wall. He is all pine, and I am apple orchard. Now, in these lines, the speaker says that their hands get injured because of picking up the heavy and rough stones. For the speaker, this activity is just like an outdoor game where there is only one rival on each side. It feels like they are playing some sort of game where there is only one opponent on each side. Now it seems to the speaker more like a game rather than a hectic work. The speaker does not consider it necessary to rebuild the wall because he and his neighbor are growing different plants. The speaker grows apples while his neighbor grows pines. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. He only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Here in these lines, the poet says that he tells his neighbor that his apple trees will never cross their limits and reach his property. In response, his neighbor says that it is necessary for a good neighbor to construct fences. Now, the speaker seems unconvinced by the logic of his neighbor. He says that he feels a little naughty, therefore, he thinks to convince his neighbor with his opinion. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I did ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. In these lines, the speaker asks his neighbor why fences are necessary to maintain good relationships with neighbors. Now, the speaker is of the idea that fences are only required in these places where there are cows. As there are no cows where the wall stands, the speaker does not understand the point of constructing a wall. Now, the speaker wants to know what will be protected by the walls. He also wants to know who will dislike the idea of building a wall. That wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I did rather he said it for himself. I see him there, bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand like an old stone, savage armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me. Here the speaker again predicts that the wall could have been broken down by elves. He does not want to tell his neighbor about this assumption because he wants him to figure it out on his own. As the neighbor works, the speaker compares him to an uncivilized person who is living in a dark age. According to the speaker, the stones in the hands of his neighbor seem like his weapons. Not of woods only and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. Now, in these last lines, the speaker says that his neighbor is still moving in the darkness. Although the world has become modernized, his neighbor is still unaware of all the advancements and changes. Now, his neighbor always follows what his father has said to him. He says again that divisions through fences are important. I do hope you have understood the poem. In case you have any doubts, please comment below and keep watching for more videos. Thank you.